my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Dallas, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is at Grow Folds. I'd love to connect it with you, and just if you have any questions about the plants or anything else on my videos, you can connect with me that way. You can see that today is a cloudy day, and based on my thumbnail and title, yes, I was slated to go to Plant Con 2025 in New York City, but as I was actually going to the airport, the DFW airport, my Uber was dropping me off. It was about 5:30 when I checked my email, and it said that my flight was canceled, and that was just very it was just not a good feeling. I was definitely devastated, and so I looked at getting flights to try to get to New York City, but unfortunately the cards were just not going to play in my favor. I was not going to work to try to get to New York City and have like a 7-hour layover and pay an extra $800. American Airlines, I just felt like didn't handle the situation well. They didn't really give us any details, and I didn't really think that I would actually get a plane if I were to stay standby till 2 p.m. today. So instead of just moping around, I really wanted to pick myself up by just going to Dallas nurseries as well as big box stores. So this is actually my second time I've ever been to this big box store, Lowe's, out in Dallas, Texas. And I've noticed that the downtown Dallas big box stores actually have a really good selection of plants. So you can see right here, it is packed full with different types of plants, and they have some really nice fixtures as well to stage their plants and merchandise it. But to go back to just some of my thoughts about Plant Con 2025 in New York City, I was just so excited. I was really excited to be able to go and see Kunzo. He is the legend. And then there were just so many vendors and friends that I wanted to get in touch with. My podcast mates from Cultivation Corner, Janae Simone and Steven of I Live Plants, will still be there. And, for me, I was most devastated in the fact that I would not be able to meet some of the plant foldies that have been messaging me. We've been chatting in the live premiere chats, but I'm hoping that there will be another opportunity for me to make it to the East Coast and meet all of the East Coast plant foldies. So I am a little bit down as I make this big box or plant shopping video, so you'll have to excuse me if I am slightly mopey, and it's just because I was really, really excited to go to Plant Con 2025 in New York City. I mean, I had everything lined up, and I just wanted to go see some amazing plants. I did message Art Garden Flowers, my friend Riki. Hopefully, I can get my plants brought to me by my friend Jim. So I'm still in coordinating with him. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. But I think when it comes down to things happening for a reason, biggest take back is, what do we do when there is a setback, when something doesn't go the way we plan, when something that we are looking forward to just does not happen for us? And Plant Con shows I absolutely love, just because the plant community is amazing. I love to surround myself with people that are all about good vibes only, and there was just a lot of people that I really wanted to meet in person. I am just really thankful that we have viewers and subscribers that care enough to really want to meet and converse with me. So for those that were looking forward to meeting me this weekend, I do apologize. I really tried my best. I mean, I was even up till 2 in the morning, and I just set my alarm clock to wake up at 4 in the morning to catch my flight, because my flight was boarding at 6:33 a.m. I had everything packed, I had everything ready to go, but I was so anxious about missing the flight that I really didn't get a lot of sleep. But that adrenaline was also pushing me to just get excited about it. So for those that are actually finding my video for the first time, I do apologize about just me sulking a little bit and just telling you what actually actually happened, how I was canceled out at Plant Con 2025 New York City. And it was literally because American Airlines actually just canceled my flight like literally 40 minutes before we were supposed to board, which if you ask me, and I really do want to garner your opinions or comments about whether that was handled well. And when I was actually trying to get help to possibly get flights or more information, the help desk was not necessarily that helpful. And I really do believe that customer service is key. I don't know how I feel about whether I should fly with American Airlines again. I get that things happen, but the way or the aftermath of just the cancellation and the resources to kind of rectify it or fix it was just not really clear for me. So we're going to go ahead and flip the switch and go on with the good vibes only by starting out by saying, take a look at this Hydra Helix, or the correct way to say it, plant foldies, is Hedera Helix. This is the English ivy that I always will pick up whenever I am shopping at a big box store. It is one of the plants that I am obsessed about. There's a lot of things I'm obsessed about, but English ivy is one of them. I just like the leaf shape. It reminds me of maple leaves, and it's just a very fascinating plant to me because it's one of those plants that I love so much, but does not want to love me back. It's kind of like that unrequited love where you just are in love with somebody, but they don't give you the same love back. Now, as you can see right here, I was talking through some of the outdoor garden section, things that I want to highlight initially about this downtown Dallas Lowe's is the merchandising outside was flawless. And even they even have like a clearance section here that's outdoors. So you'll notice that these plants are 50% off. And what's exciting about these plants being 50% off is you can find nice finds like this. So this one right here is an Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos. This is by Costa Farms Trending Tropicals. And even me passing by some of the plants that are in the indoor section, it is going to be an exciting video. Know that at the very end, I really hope you guys will watch what I ended up doing to really console myself for the big disappointment of not being able to fly out to New York City today. I went to Plant Keeper, and I definitely want you guys to stay till the very end and see what I did. I want to see, and I really do want your opinions on whether I handled the situation right, on whether I took care of myself. So definitely watch till the very end of the video. It will be somewhat shocking, somewhat surprising. I kind of want to see what you guys think and leave your comments for that. But as you can see right there were some clearance plants right there. They were 50% off. And now we're going to be heading over to the indoor section in just a second. Plant foldies, as you can see right here, this particular Lowe's location actually has a different vibe, a different look than the ones that I often visit in the northern part of Dallas. So the suburbs such as McKinney, Prosper, Frisco, Plano, Allen, Texas, Melissa, Texas. So all of these big boxers are a little bit different. The ones in downtown Dallas actually have a really, surprisingly, a large selection of plants, but then I can understand why, because there are more people in the downtown areas. And you can see right here, it is fall season. So we're going to see a lot of Croton Petras and a lot of cool seasonally relevant decor. So you can see right here, this home decor, these are skeleton planters, $7.98 by Live Trends Design. And you can see we've got a Halloween theme, we've got a mummy, we've got a witch, we've got Frankenstein, we've got Dracula. So these are little cute figurines with air plants on the top of their head. You can see that these figurines are $7.98. And Live Trends Design, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos, they really are very innovative in just the plant styling of the plants. And I even see that they have the pumpkin man over here, and then you can see we've got a witch over here. And when you think about plant styling, it goes down to your aesthetics, right? What you want, how you want to present your plants. For me, I like that modern contemporary look, which really fits the aesthetic that Live Trends Design planters have. To go back to New York City Plant Con 2025, things that I was really looking forward to was actually seeing some more pottery planters. I was looking forward to being back in New York City. The last time I was there, I was actually in college, and I graduated college in 2005. So it's been a minute, and I was just really excited to just be out and about. Luke was not going to be able to travel with me. He was going to stay with my Barred Rock hen and my Rhode Island Red hen, our chickens that we are raising together. And it was going to be a solo trip, but the cards weren't right. And I know that I'm going to spend a little bit of time kind of thinking about what could have been. And so that goes back to the whole, do we just move past things that don't go our way? Do we just sulk in the moment? Do we let it go? Do we allow ourselves to feel that sadness, that disappointment, that frustration? Plant foldies, I'm really curious because I really do have some raw feelings that I'm pretty much giving you guys as I walked around this Lowe's location to just kind of calm myself down. I had a mixture of definitely frustration, more so anger with just how the service was handled with American Airlines. But then I was also very much so disappointed. I was also saddened because this was something that I was looking forward to. And, people ask, how do we get through our days? How do we relieve stress? How do we relieve anxieties or depression? And oftentimes people say that if you have something that you're planning and you're looking forward to, that's ways to really mitigate those feelings. And well, today, it just so happens that it didn't go the way I wanted to. So for those that actually make it to Plant Con in New York City this weekend, I hope you guys have an amazing time. Definitely check out some of the booths. I would highly recommend going to Art Garden Flowers, Riki's booth. You go ahead and check out Hedge Fund Plants. What else? Live with Plants, and all the other plant nurseries and vendors, Prop and Grow, for instance. And there's just so many others. I'm just really full of emotion right now. I'm just really disappointed, to be honest, Plant Foldies. Like, I really wanted to go to Plant Con. There was so many plants that I wanted to see in person. I wanted to film like hours and hours of Plant Con for y'all, because I know not everybody has the opportunity to go to a big show like that. And I was planning on filming at least a minimum of 6 hours of content. There were some major YouTube content creators, Summer Rain Oaks, Kunzu-sama was going to be there, and there was just going to be a lot of good people, good vibes only. And really, I wanted to meet a lot of the plant foldies, but have no fear. The world will always spin around this sun of ours, and there's going to be other opportunities. And so today, I am just going to be a little bit sad, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to go ahead and try to have plants bring me joy. I think walking around, taking some deep breaths, I'm really thinking about how fortunate I am to have a support system where there's many people that I've never met before, many people that I may never meet, but for some reason, y'all, the Plant Foldy community, continue to invest your time to engage in my content. And that goes to show that you guys are definitely exuding that kindness. And I am just really grateful and thankful to that. So let me get off of my soapbox, Plant Foldies. I needed to allow myself to feel all the feelings I had. I've never, ever, ever had a flight canceled, and not only just have a flight canceled, but not even have a concrete solution or information as to what other steps we could do. So I am just a little bit weary about traveling right now. Maybe it's just meant for me to drive around and film big box store plants. So today we are actually going to be looking at all of these plants, and the majority of plants I've noticed at this Lowe's location are Costa Farms plants. And, you know, to add a little bit more salt to the wound, I was actually in touch with Justin Hancock of Costa Farms. He was going to be there, as well as Samia, their social media strategist and manager. I wanted to see both of them. I met Samia out in Florida on Plant Con, but I've never met Justin. And we were going to talk about Aglaonema and just all things Costa Farms. So even today's video is going to be dedicated to Costa Farms and the fact that if you look at all of their plants, they have trayfuls of plants in Dallas, Texas. Now over here we do have, you know, also African violets. You know, African violets are plants that I think a lot of our grandmothers have taken care of. Now with African violets, they're a little bit challenging if you are an overwaterer, but also an underwater. And what I mean by that is you need to make sure that you're watering your African violets by bottom watering it. They don't like to get their leaves or their petioles wet. Now, as you can see right here, Plant Foldies, we do have a lot of exotic angel plants. Now, the ones that are in 3-inch planters are for $5.98. The 8-inch planters are going to be $8.98. So these ones, not 8-inch planters, 5-inch planters. So you can see right here, we've got a beautiful Croton Gold Dust. So the two big crotons that we will see offered by Costa Farms in the 10-inch planters are going to be typically the Croton Petra and the Croton Mame, but I would love to see larger versions of the Croton Gold Dust. These are beautiful plants. Crotons often signify when fall season is around, especially in the United States, even though that plant is not a fall season type plant. You know, crotons like to be in hot, humid environments. They like to be in full sun. It's just really interesting how some plants become a seasonal plant, even though it's not necessarily fitting the season. I don't know, Plant Foldies. Let me know in the comment section below. And I do have to warn y'all, I'm probably going to be bouncing from many thoughts back and forth today, just because I am feeling a little bit emotional. And, you know, I understand if some of you guys will click away and not actually watch the video, or if you don't want to really hear me ramble or talk or tell y'all of my feelings, you can always press the mute button. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I know that there are some people that have given me feedback that they would rather not have me be so chatty and just let the plants play through. So either way. Now let me just get back to the plants here. So you'll notice that there were a lot of exotic angel plants. Now we have a lot of Costa Farms hanging baskets as well. So the 8-inch hanging baskets, this is the white rabbit's foot fern. This one is for $20.98. Now the 6-inch hanging baskets of Costa Farms, which I actually prefer more so than the 8-inch ones. And I say this because it's easier for me to hang them. They're a little bit more manageable than the 8-inch ones. So these are the 6-inch hanging baskets. You can see right here, this is the Peperomia Teardrop, the non-variegated form for $16.98. I just think that it's super cool though that this particular Lowe's location, after visiting a couple of downtown Dallas locations, how they are just really packed with plants. I don't know if just that the demand is high and therefore that they get replenished more, or if they just get more plants than say some of the suburb Lowe's locations up north in Dallas. Now, I'm just going to continue to walk around here and just pick up some plants, show you some of the hanging baskets that they have. Again, you know, when it comes down to houseplants, if you are ever going to start your plant collection, you go to a big box store, get yourself a Costa Farms plants. They are very much so cost effective. You can see over here, we've got a Fittonia. I love the pink veining on the leaves, and it is just stunning as well. beats going to a big box store that's fully stocked with a lot of these Costa Farms exotic angel plants. Again, it is one of those situations where if you're looking for something budget friendly, cost effective, a pretty good selection, many different types of plants, whether it's beginner plants like this Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos for only $5.98, or something a little bit more advanced like a croton plant, or even some of those Rex begonias. Costa Farms has it, and they have those plants readily available at many Lowe's locations. I would also recommend actually using the Lowe's app, and I say this because they have what they call the My Lowe's rewards or My Lowe's deals, and that's how you get the sale pricing. Now over here is a curly locks Hydra Helix. Say it with me, plant foldies, Hydra Helix. I've got to try to actually cheer myself up, so I'm going to just say Hydra Helix. Okay, I really need to stop saying that because I'm pretty sure the ones that are actually not understanding the inside plant foldy joke, they probably have swiped away from this video. But as you guys know, I actually say it incorrectly because I thought I was saying it correctly, and that's another thing I wanted to say about plant names. Sometimes we don't always say the plant names correctly or pronounce them, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't get the names right. Now I did want to show you this. Look at how pretty this croton mame is. So I like that it's curly. I like that it's got bright yellow colors, reds, maroons, greens, oranges. It's just a pretty color, and I think with a lot of the more colorful plants like the croton plants, aglaonemas, coleus plants, it's either you love them or you hate them. There's not really a middle ground. Now, I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but that's really what vibe I've gotten after just asking some of our plant foldies for feedback. Now over here, you can see we've got a Tradescanthia Nanook in a hanging basket. So I've noticed that the Tradescanthia Nanook is not really offered in a hanging basket by Costa Farms often, or at least I haven't seen it. This one is for $16.98. We've got a Syngonium. This is a Syngonium white butterfly for $16.98. And I am in love with my Syngoniums again. They are doing very well. I'm currently growing them outside along with all of my other plants, so I don't really have a lot of indoor tropical plants. And here's a little secret plant foldy. So for those that actually were on the live chat yesterday after my live premiere, which was Thursday, I actually did a semi-impromptu houseplant tour. So Kathy from Canada, if you are watching this video, or for anybody that says I have not done a houseplant tour, I did a little snippet doing a Instagram live stream as well as a YouTube live stream, and it seems like you guys were interested in seeing some of my plants. I did show some of my origami work and some of my interior design. So if you guys are really wanting to see that, just let me know in the comment section again. And if you made it this far into the videos, plant foldies, I need some good vibes, some positive energy. Please press that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And it also just helps me with my YouTube ad revenue when you guys are watching throughout my video and engaging. I mean, I would be able to afford this beautiful philodendron hederaceum neon, for instance, in a 6-inch planter by Costa Farms for only $16.98. And this is just a stunner of a plant. Would you agree? It's nice and full. It's trailing. It's got some good growth points. It's all real. It's just a very healthy looking plant. And I have to commend Costa Farms for just being able to produce the mass amounts of plants and be able to offer them to the general public. Now, if you ever see some plants declining, while they're still at a big box store like Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, or Walmart, it's oftentimes because the plant has stayed at that big box store for a while, and maybe the teams that are actually in charge of the plants may not have the best plant care. You know, there's many different priorities when it comes to just retail, and maybe some of these big box store plants may not get the care that it necessarily needs long term. And that's the reason why I say if you want to go plant shopping, check out these big box stores. I mean, this particular Dallas Lowe's location has some amazing just in stocks. I mean, look at how many plants that they have available. You can see we've got some hanging basket plants. We've got all sorts of plants for a very good value. And, you know, as I think about just not being able to go to Plant Con New York City, I think another regret of mine of just not being able to go there is the fact that I didn't get to really see all of the plants that are currently trending or all of the different vendors. You know, whenever you go to a big box store like that, you see the plants. These plants are pretty often commonly found, but whenever you go to like Plant Con, for instance, you'll see some plants that may not necessarily be under somebody's radar. And full transparency, I just wish I could see Kunzo in person. He is bringing his plants, and if for those that don't know who Kunzo is, he is a legendary Japanese plant I don't even know, hybridizer, somebody that has some amazing plants, and he just has his own hybrids, and those plants are being offered at Plant Con New York City. For those that actually make it, I hope you guys will leave comments, send me photos, send me your experiences about what you thought about Plant Con. I know that there are so many plant foldies that are going there, and you know, I hope you guys have such a good time. I am just really sad that I wouldn't be able to make it to this Plant Con, and I already had my plane tickets, and I know that I'm probably bringing up this subject again, but it's just really disappointing, and I was just filled with so many emotions. But you know, I can go back and at least make today productive in a sense that I was able to film 3 big box store shopping experiences, and so I'll be able to have that available for our Plant Foldy community. I am curious to see if anybody is able to get some amazing Aglaonemas. I know for a fact that there's one number one wish list Aglaonema I want aside from the Aglaonema Crown of Siam, and that is Aglaonema Kunzo. I know somebody was telling me that at Plant Con it was retailing for $1,080. So obviously that is not within my price range. I say not within my price range, but if we ended up getting all those super stickers donations, I welcome it, because maybe someday I may be able to get that. But let me go back to these plants. So you can see right here, this particular pothos plant looks like just a golden pothos, but it is not. This one is actually mislabeled. This one is an Epipremnum aureum neon queen pothos, and you'll notice that it's got that lighter aurea variegation. So it's basically like a marble queen pothos, but it has more of that yellowish tone. Really love the plant, and again, it's one of those pothos that was recently discovered and has become more readily available for people. Some people will even call this the variegated neon pothos, but some people also call it the neon pothos queen. Either way, $5.98. This one is being offered by Costa Farms, and I hope that Costa Farms will actually have more of these hanging baskets available, and hopefully we will see even more pothos varieties, because pothos are definitely plants that everybody that's into houseplants should at least have one. I know that some people are more into the rare plants, but as I say in all my videos, we need to find plants that are going to bring us joy, and one way to for a plant to bring us joy is for it to consistently push out new growth, for it to not add workload to our daily lives. Plants should enhance our daily lives versus adding workload. And I get that there are routines that we have to place in order to actually grow plants successfully. But for me, if a plant is having to demand so much time from us, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And that's something that I want all of us to kind of be able to work through. I know that this weekend, instead of me being at Plant Con 2025 in New York City, I will be taking a day where I am literally cleaning up my plants, taking care of my plant room, getting things arranged, planning on what am I going to do with all my Aglaonema outdoors, because days are going to start to get shorter with fall approaching. So let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, what do you do when winter is coming, when fall is coming? I tend to like the longer days. I really like more bright light, and even this weekend, especially today, it's been really gloomy. We've had an overcast in Dallas, and it just is not befitting for how I feel, just because, again, it's a huge disappointment not being able to make it to Plant Con, but I wanted to make it productive today. I actually posted on my Instagram on whether I should spend the day filming content. And so you guys, the majority of you guys actually voted yes. And so this is what I am doing. For those that are watching this video and discovering this YouTube channel again, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push the content out to more plant lovers like yourself, and definitely give me a subscribe. I would love to continue to grow this Plantfoldy community. We are almost at 13,000 viewers and subscribers, and to me that is insane. I can't even fathom like how many people that is. It's as big as like a stadium almost. So thanks to you guys for always tuning in, and you know, hopefully Plant Con Dallas is even a more fun adventure and we can actually plan something where we can have a major meetup. I always tell people, if you ever want to just message me on Instagram, if you ever want to talk, if you ever want to see me faceless, we can even schedule like a video call on Instagram. I would love to be able to chat with y'all, and that's going to be open to not only the super Plantfoldies that have joined the YouTube membership tier, but just for anybody that wants to talk about plants. Totally open to that. But anyways, Plantfoldies, I'm going to stop some of the commentating and just showing you more of these plants. I'm going to walk around and pick up a lot of these Costa Farms plants. So you can see we've got this Rex begonia, for instance. This is a beautiful one. And if you are a begonia lover, Costa Farms does push out a lot of these begonias for the general public at these big box stores. Foldies, you can see right here, we have the Costa Farms tiny plants. So these are the 2-inch starter plants that Costa Farms offers. These are for $2.99. So if you have small spaces or you just want a starter plant, you can go ahead and get one of these. It's cool that they actually have this one offered at this Lowe's location. And I will say, for all of the downtown Dallas, the more urban locations in the DFW market for Lowe's, they do have really good selections. I'm noticing that every time I go further down into the city and looking at all these plants, I mean, we have this Epipremnum pinnatum right here, one of my favorite plants. But the thing about Epipremnum pinnatum is you do need to give it quite a bit of bright indirect light. It is a thirsty plant. So if you're not able to to really fulfill those care tips, I would say number one, the plant is going to push out more runners where it's going to have vines, but it's not necessarily going to have the foliage that you're looking for. And then number two, the leaves will start to get droopy if it doesn't get enough water. So I just find growing plants outdoors so much easier. And I've been talking a lot about that lately, but not sure if anybody else has really taken a lot of their plants outdoors, especially for the spring and summer. I am planning on doing that again next year, maybe getting a head start and just putting them out further, like maybe late March when we don't have to worry about any frost or cold weather out in North Dallas. I've seen so many plants that were really struggling indoors, and they've actually pushed out quite a bit of growth. And you'll see that we have urban jungle plants also mixed in with all of these Costa Farms plants. The majority of plants at this particular Lowe's location is Costa Farms. And what I'm hearing is Costa Farms, for the first time ever at Plant Con New York City, will actually feature all of their trending tropical plants on display. That again is another reason why I am super disappointed that I wouldn't be able to go there. I will say, for all the plant foldies that were on the live premiere chat that showed some concern, I really appreciate it. Know that I am okay, but a lot of my thoughts would be, number one, I've been looking forward to just meeting everybody on the North and East Coast, all of the North and East Coast plant foldies. I would have loved to have discussed and chatted with y'all, but I will definitely make it up somehow. And just number two, all of the amazing plant personalities that were going to be there. I would love to have seen Summer Rain Oaks, for instance. She is a huge YouTube content creator, one that I've watched for many years, and just being able to make more friends, because whenever you go to like a plant show like Plant Con, you run into so many people that have the same interest and just that same passion for plants. So virtually right now, we can just celebrate our love for plants by watching these big box stores. I do think that that is one way to just kind of form a community. And you'll see right over here just so many plants. I mean, would you agree with me that this particular Lowe's location is jam-packed with plants? Plant foldies from all over the United States. Let me know what your Lowe's locations look like, and I would like to go on a plant tourism tour. So if you haven't checked out my playlist with the plant tourism videos, it's basically whenever I go to a different city, different state, and create content on their local and big box stores that offer plants. And you can see right here, endless amounts of Costa Farms plants. And look at this. Live Trends Design has this amazing air plant display with a face statue. So what a very unique, quirky way to display plants. And you know, with air plants, that's something I'm not as well versed on in terms of just the plant care. All I know is with air plants, you just soak them in water, pull them out, and let them dry, and that's how you water the plants. And then here is another Hydra Helix. Say it with me, plant foldies, Hydra Helix. Or the correct way to say it is Hedera Helix. This is the Florida English ivy, and I do love the shape of the leaves. It's a little bit more pointy, and that's the nuances with a lot of the English ivy. So plant foldies, we're going to keep looking at some of these plants right here. You can notice that I have shown you guys a little bit of the Live Trends Design plants. This is actually the end cap that they typically have at Lowe's, is the Live Trends Design plants, and you'll see that there is a different aesthetic. I say this in all my videos that I feature Live Trends Design. It's a modern contemporary vibe. They push the envelope in terms of the specific modern shapes, the different types of glazes, the minimalistic approach, the mixed media, and I think that that's really what separates Live Trends Designs apart. Is, of course, they have amazing plants. Their plant offerings are pretty similar to, like, say, Costa Farms plants and urban jungle plants, but their aesthetic is definitely a very different approach, where it is definitely more modern, contemporary. I mean, you can even see this propagation station of this Dracaena. This is just literally growing in water, but even just the unfinished wood is a really nice touch. So you know, as far as all of these plants, Live Trends Design, if you're not following them on Instagram, definitely follow them. You can even learn about the design and just the thought process behind these planters. It's very definitely something that they very much so consider, and it really does show the effort placed into the design is really amazing. And you know, me being an art major when I was in college, it was all about the aesthetic or the thought process or even the emotion behind the piece. And even though, yes, these planters are just holding plants, there is something very special when it comes to Live Trends design. So, you know, kudos to Live Trends design. Love y'all, and I love the plants. I love making big box store plant shopping videos. And even though you guys have seen me do some local plant nursery videos, it is all about that good vibe. And so in terms of like social media, again, there's a lot of people that have various opinions about plants, but I always encourage good vibes only. And that's the reason why I don't really want to wallow on being disappointed that my flight was canceled by American Airlines literally 40 minutes before we were going to board and take off. I just think that that was highly mismanaged in the way they've handled that. But you know what? Sometimes things like that are just out of our control. And even on the lens of the American Airlines, maybe they were just overworked and overrun with what to do with the solution. So I have to really step back and look at that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, Plantfoldies, how you would have reacted having a flight canceled 40 minutes before takeoff. It still baffles me, but at the same time, you know, the emotions I felt initially, the emotions I'm feeling currently, and then maybe the post emotions I will have once everything is settled. I do encourage Plantfoldies or anybody watching my videos, and I know I'm going on a tangent again, but it's more of allow yourself to feel these emotions. Sometimes we try to bury them. Sometimes we feel like we're being irrational in how we truly feel. But I think that if you're able to at least be aware of your emotions, allow yourself to feel a certain way, then find ways to mitigate or move on from your emotions, whether it's negative or something of that nature, is really important. So for me, I am choosing to film beautiful plants at a big box store today because I feel like it's definitely a productive way to spend my time. And at the end of the day, I wasn't able to go fly out to New York City and, you know, enjoy Plant Con, but at least I have this space where I can at least make content for y'all to enjoy and to be productive. So if you can, Plantfoldies, chime in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you think about a lot of these plants, because I did spend quite a bit of time just picking up beautiful plants, whether it's urban jungle plants, Live Trend design plants, or of course Costa Farms plants. That's one thing I can at least say is, if you ever feel down, if you ever feel frustrated, if you ever feel depressed or have anxiety, at least for me, I can just go into a big box store, not buy anything, and just look at these plants. I mean, I always get excited looking at this Aglaonema Golden Bay, for instance, and this one is stunning. It is an absolute stunner. And look at this. Look at the new urban jungle aesthetic. It almost tricked me to thinking that it was a Live Trends design plant. And with this particular Aglaonema, which I have about 4 or 5 of, I don't mind even adding more of this in my collection, because it is one of the easiest plants to take care of. And it's one that is readily available. You know, a plant collection doesn't necessarily mean that we have to collect all of these rare and uncommon plants. If a lot of your plants are just coming from like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, or grocery stores, that is okay, because you know what? A healthy, growing houseplant collection, in my opinion, is far more satisfying than somebody that might be acquiring all of these rare, variegated, highly expensive, trending plants that might take a little bit more out of your wallet, and also out of your time and the environment that you have to provide. I am really trying to go back to the basics. And you know, my grandmother, she's really taught me to appreciate the plants that you currently have, appreciate propagating plants, and increasing your actual collection that way. I think that that is the best way to go about things. And I just think that's an amazing feeling, to be able to find satisfaction with what you have. That's another comment I wanted to know from the Plantfoldies, because you can see This is a beautiful philodendron golden crocodile, and it's only for $14.98 on sale. It is on sale for that price. Right now, the Costa Farms Trending Tropical plants that are normally $19.98 at Lowe's are on sale for $14.98. And you can see these are beautiful specimens of a philodendron golden crocodile. We've also got some Dieffenbachia here in self-watering planters. $15.98 is the asking price at this Lowe's. And then we even have more philodendron golden crocodile. I mean, look at how beautiful that neon colored leaf is. Now with these plants, all of the neon plants need bright indirect light. If you put it in lower light conditions, it will revert back to more of a greener tone. And then Dieffenbachia, as much as I love them, I am not sold on actually trying to grow them indoors just yet with my Aglaonema. They look very similar, but their lighting requirements are definitely higher than an Aglaonema. And then you can see right over here, we've got the dogtail cactus, and this one is in a 6-inch planter by Costa Farms. This one is for $16.98. And you know, 6-inch planters that are hanging baskets for Costa Farms are the more easier ones to manage. I just think the 8-inch ones are a little bit larger, and you know, with larger hanging baskets, you have to have a really strong hook in order for them to be hung. Otherwise, you'll have a hanging basket that will fall. I'm actually curious if a lot of plant foldies actually grow plants in a hanging basket. I mean, I've always wanted to grow lots of them, and the only reason why I've been able to grow a lot of them is because they are growing outdoors in my outdoor patio. I am a little bit concerned because the overcast in the North Dallas area has been prevalent, and summer is ending, fall is coming around the corner. Fall weather brings cooler temperatures, and cooler temperatures are not necessarily the ideal environment for a lot of our indoor tropical plants. Hence the reason why we call them indoor, because our indoor spaces are always going to have warmer conditions. But as you can see right here, this is a tropical type cactus. It's a beautiful one, and you'll notice that it has lots of growth. And then we also have a quintessential basic fern right here. Not sure what the plant ID is for that fern, but if you are a fern lover, I'm not necessarily a fan of ferns, it's just my personal preference, but you can find ferns on sale as well at Lowe's. And you can see right over here, we have a Hoya carnosa. This one has beautiful variegation, and I know that this is probably the most common Hoya you will run into, whether it is at a big box store or a local nursery, but it is still a beautiful one. For my Hoya heads, or for those that really love Hoyas, you can start your collection or add to your collection by just getting a Hoya carnosa by Costa Farms. That one is for $16.98. And we have another hanging basket right over here. This is another one I have been pretty much looking at for the last year. I just haven't pulled the plug and actually bought this plant. I just feel like it is one that I could easily propagate. It is one that might be easier to take care of. I just haven't really been inspired to really buy it. It's one plant that I would say is a good example of you can grow plants by just going plant window shopping, as in you can just continue to go to the same big box store and just watch the plant grow. Now over here we have another Syngonium. This is a beautiful Syngonium, and I love the hanging baskets of Syngoniums that Costa Farms actually offers. It's super full. If you get them when they just get first delivered, they are in perfect health. And with Syngoniums, again, they are plants, and I have to repeat myself multiple times because some people will dub Syngoniums as an easy care plant. It is an easy care plant if you can give them the watering that they need. If you are not able to water Syngoniums consistently, they will revolt and want to go to plant heaven. over here we have a bunch of parlor palm from Costa Farms. This one is for $15.98. And here's the thing about palms, they do require quite a bit of light. Oftentimes you will see majesty palms. Here we have a parlor palm. I really like that it's compact. Now I'm not 100% sure if this palm will actually get really large. So for those that are a little bit more familiar about this particular palm, please leave that in the comments section. Give me some insights. And then this is actually the first time I've really seen Calathea Triostar. This one is a beautiful one from Costa Farms. Again, $15.98. You can see the undersides of the leaves are really nice as well. And what I like about these prayer type plants is how their leaves move in accordance to the light. They do need lots of bright indirect light. They are a bit spider mite prone. They prefer higher humidity levels. And in terms of just watering, again, you cannot let these plants stay dry for too long. They need to have a little bit more consistency when it comes to the watering. They prefer to be more on the wetter side. This particular plant, again, is in a self-watering planter for $15.98. This is in the 6-inch planter, and you know, Costa Farms offers a lot of 6-inch self-watering planters. I don't necessarily use self-watering planters for plants that are in a soil substrate. I only really use self-watering planters for like semi-hydroponic substrates like leca or lechuza pond. So I'm not 100% sure if it's really going to be beneficial for anybody using soil as their substrate for self-watering planters. I do also want to ask the plant foldies if you utilize the self-watering planters, or do you repot these plants that you buy at big box stores. Now over here we do have a philodendron pink princess, and this is just a regular philodendron pink princess. The ones that have a little bit more marbling or more pink variegation is also known as a philodendron pink princess Galaxy Marble. This one is just a typical philodendron pink princess. The variegation varies depending on the initial genetics of the philodendron pink princess. This one is for $15.98. And then plant foldies, we're going to go ahead and continue to walk around and take a look at some more of the offerings that Costa Farms has at Lowe's. That I'm going to definitely get a hold of would be the Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic Blue. Any Epipremnum pinnatum plant I am actually a fan of, just because it is endemic to my family's home country, which is the Philippines. This is definitely one of the plants that just grows outside. It is all over, and this particular Epipremnum pinnatum actually fenestrates its leaves without having to be on a moss pole or some type of support system. We can see right over here we've got a philodendron ring of fire, and what I've learned about philodendron ring of fire is if you do not give it enough bright indirect light, it will revert more so to a greener foliage. So this one is very much heavily influenced by the amount of light in order for you to really get the beautiful variegation of this serrated philodendron. I love it. Same thing with the philodendron golden crocodile. So all of these serrated philodendrons require more bright indirect light. That is the key to a lot of these indoor tropical plants, or these tropical plants in general. They tend to be understory tree plants that just grow under trees, so that filtered light is what they prefer. You definitely don't want to put them in full sun. And then you can just see right over here we have a combination planter for $17.98, where they have different types of plants available. You have a marble queen pothos, a parlor palm, and some other stuff in there. And then we also have more urban jungle plants. You can see this is another beautiful golden bay aglaonema next to a philodendron birkin. You can see right here, this is one of the newer, modern looking Costa Farms self-watering planters. This one is for $24.98. This is the Epipremnum Arium lemon meringue pothos, which is actually a sport variegated pothos plant that was discovered with Costa Farms, and Costa Farms actually has made enough to where they actually have an offering for the general public. It looks more of like a global green pothos, but this one has some of the aurea or yellowish tone around it. Now with these pothos plants, it's very critical that you do give it a lot of light, because if you're not able to provide it bright, filtered, indirect light, it is not going to give you the best coloration. This particular plant will actually just give you more of a greener tone where you don't see a stark contrast. And then this is the Alocasia reginae. I love the look of this Alocasia, and I love the new terracotta looking modern planter that Costa Farms has. I really like the branding that they've invested in some of their newer plants, just the planters that they have. And again, as I look at all of these Costa Farms plants, I am just really sad I wasn't able to meet up with Justin of Costa Farms. I'm hoping that I will run into him at some point down the line in one of these plant shows, because I did want to just talk about the Costa Farms plants, the new ones that they have available, and even the suggestions I would have. I would really hope that Costa Farms would look into increasing their line of colorful aglaonema, because I've noticed that more and more vendors, especially at like Plant Con and nurseries, have really started to offer more colorful aglaonema. So definitely would love to see that happen, and just to give that feedback again to Costa Farms. Now over here, we're looking at Sublime Trend Design planters. This one is a ZZ plant, one of the easiest plants, one that I will always feature in my big box or plant shopping videos because of how easy it is, and it is readily available. So I really love the look of that. And we're gonna go ahead and look at this Syndapsis Platinum Java. This is another one that I would love to actually get, just because it is such a beautiful plant. It's got the nice silver foliage, and look at the new labels that they have for Costa Farms. I really love this curated look, and I really love the Syndapsis Java or Platinum Java. Would love to get a hold of this. And Syndapsis are just like Epipremnum aureum or pothos plants, very easy to take care of. They're a slightly slower growers as compared to the pothos plant, but it's still one of the best plants to add into an indoor tropical space for anybody that just wants to start out with house plants. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep showing you these offerings that Costa Farms has available at this Lowe's location. Foldies, what do you think so far of these plants that I'm showing you at this Lowe's location in downtown Dallas? What plants are you wanting to buy? And do you guys think that I handled actually the disappointment of not making it to Plant Con 2025 in New York City by just being super productive and just filming plants? Let me know in the comments section. And over here, Plant Foldies, I did want to show you these different types of bonsai that are offered by Costa Farms. So stay tuned to my Costa Farms repotting bonsai video where I will use the Bonsai Supply soil. You can see that these are very much cost-effective plant pricing when it comes to bonsai. I really never imagined that bonsai would be readily available at a big box store, but Costa Farms makes it possible. And you can see whenever you're looking at bonsai, you want to look at the movement of the trunk and just the branching. There is a whole world and art of creating bonsai. It is one way of growing plants that takes several decades, lots of time to really get that perfect shape for the plant, because you are trying to mimic nature and actually create a miniature tree growing in a shallow container. So I am going to definitely use the Bonsai Supply soil. So go to the bonsaisupply.com, and in just a few minutes I'm going to show you the wonderful products that they have. I hope you guys will not click away, because you definitely need to see what I did to cope with my disappointment. Aside from just filming these plants at the very end, you just have to wait till the very end to see. But right here I do have wonderful bonsai selections to choose from, and I would like to buy more Costa Farms bonsai. Consider these more of like pre-bonsai, and with the supplies that I've gotten from the Bonsai Supply, you'll see. Plant Foldies, I am super excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the bonsaisupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose fast draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art, and in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic slow release all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer, and it is all purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the bonsaisupply.com or bonsaisupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat. And just know, Plant Foldies, that I will utilize in another video a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at Plant Con Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors. And what I like about the Bonsai supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that these soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It's just fast draining. And I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLDS. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize, and this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram and shop today. Hopefully I've convinced some of you guys to be open to trying the Bonsai Supply soil. Go to thebonsai-supply.com. Definitely check out the affiliate link that I have in the video description. Use my promo code GROWFOLDS when you check out so you can get 10% off your entire purchase. A lot of their soil is also curated to make your soil a little bit more fast draining. Really good product for succulents and cactus, or just to make your soil a little bit more fast draining. You can mix it with your current soil. So as I continue to walk around this Lowe's location, you'll just notice, I mean, just how full this Lowe's location is. I mean, here is another Costa Farms Syngonium right here in a 6-inch planter for only $16.98. And Costa Farms, you know, kudos to Costa Farms for just making plants affordable, accessible to the general public. So there's no gatekeeping when it comes to just being able to get house plants. And a lot of these rare and uncommon plants, for the longest time, we didn't have general access to it because of the expensive plant pricing, but Costa Farms has done an amazing job making it affordable for people. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some Croton Mame. This is a large one, which signifies that it is almost fall time, and I'm actually tempted to buy this particular one. I don't know, Plant Foldies, I think this is for $19. I believe somewhere around that range, $19.95. The only problem is, if I am to buy something like this beautiful Croton Mame, is I would need to be able to grow this outdoors in full sun or a lot of sun. And what do I do when winter comes? I've already noticed that the weather is getting a little bit cooler out in North Dallas, and I have more than 100 Aglaonema plants growing outdoors in my shaded patio. And so I just have to find ways to overwinter them. This is a beautiful specimen. I think next year when I plan for it, I will definitely get some really cool crotons, maybe some more uncommon ones, but even this common Croton Mame is absolutely stunning. They can become full-blown trees over years' time. They're a little bit slower growers, but if you are able to provide the lighting conditions, you can successfully grow them. Same thing with Dieffenbachia. So this is a Dieffenbachia camouflage. What a beautiful green on green variegated type plant. This Dieffenbachia, again, isn't really pet friendly. It does require a lot of bright indirect light. You must stay on top of the watering. They don't like to stay dry for too long. And then over here, we've got a Ficus elastica taniki. This one is another one that needs a lot of light. It can grow into a full-blown tree if allowed to grow in a sunny area. So I've been growing all of my ficus plants outdoors, and you can see this is the classic Aglaonema Silver Bay. So Aglaonema Silver Bay, we got some Dieffenbachia here. So not only does this Lowe's location have large foliage plants, thanks to Costa Farms, especially at very cost-effective plant pricing. I mean, you can see right here, we've got rows of large plants. So if you have a space that can actually house these large plants, sometimes that's the better option. So it's instant gratification. You don't have to wait for the plant to grow too long for it to get to those sizes. And as I wrap up the indoor tropical tropical plants. I just wanted to pan around here and just show you a couple more plants. This one right here is another plant that I have been looking at for quite some time. This is the Polynesian ivy for $16.98. It is a pretty fast growing plant. It's one that I have considered for more than a year to purchase. I just haven't had a chance to actually buy it or actually have taken the leap to buy the plant. And I think that that's a good thing. I don't feel like just because we've been admiring a plant for so long, do we necessarily need to bring it in our spaces? That's how we end up hoarding so many plants. That's how we end up making our plant collections more overwhelming versus satisfying, because at the end of the day, and I've talked about this throughout the video, when you take one plant in, that's another plant that requires lighting conditions, watering conditions, and pest control. That's another plant that is going to eat up into your time. So as I wrap up today's video right here, I did want to just walk through again the outdoor garden section and stay till the very end to see what I did to cope with my disappointment of being canceled out of Plant Con 2025 in New York City because American Airlines decided to cancel my flight 40 minutes before we started boarding, and there wasn't really a solution to get put on another plane. So I don't know. I don't want to loom on it, but at the same time, I was just thinking of all the potential things that I had planned while going to Plant Con. I just feel really bad that I wasn't able to create that content that a lot of our plant foldies were looking forward to. Maybe next year, there are reasons why sometimes things don't always work out the way we plan them to. It's just how do we manage to move past that? And so today I am choosing to be productive. I am choosing to recognize my emotions, and I just felt like I needed to go plant shopping. So I ended up buying an Aglaonema Green Army. I rushed down to Plant Keeper Incorporated, which is a local plant nursery out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I remember telling myself that I had to go back and buy the Aglaonema Green Army. This one is a large 10-inch planter with such a beautiful Aglaonema. And instantly after purchasing this Aglaonema right here, I felt better. I felt like, you know what, the amount of money I was going to spend at PlantCon for traveling, I can go ahead and just invest it and buy plants to support a local plant nursery. Plant Keeper, I have a video, a detailed nursery tour, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. It is a 2-part series. Same thing with my Green Acres nursery and supply videos. I have a 2-part series where you can check those out. You can look at the plant playlist. But as you can see right here, I went ahead and got myself an Aglaonema Green Army. What do you guys think, plant foldies? What do you think about this particular Aglaonema? And do you ever just utilize plant shopping as a way to cope with disappointment, a bad day, or just feeling like you need to treat yourself? I felt like I definitely needed to treat myself, but more so I needed to find something to make me happy. And yes, maybe spending money on plants may not necessarily be the long-term solution, but at the time, I felt like I needed to go get something that was plant related. So just why not add another plant? And then I also ended up getting a second plant that I was looking at when I was at Plant Keeper Incorporated, and that is the Aglaonema Painted Silver Prince. And it has a similar look to an Aglaonema Silver Bay, but you'll notice that it's got more variegation in color. It's almost like a tricolor here. It's definitely a different Aglaonema. And what I plan on doing is, for my entryway in my house, is I am going to collect larger Aglaonemas that are already grown to that size as an entryway. When I actually do my houseplant tour, you guys will see that. And I know some plant foldies got a little snippet of a houseplant tour because I did live stream certain parts of my home to show y'all that. So, make sure you actually have all notifications turned on, because I might end up doing it. But here is just, a detailed look at both of these Aglaonemas set side by side. So that is what I did at the very end, is to go to Plant Keeper after going big box store plant shopping and actually find me some beautiful Aglaonema. It really did make me feel better. Call me silly, call me crazy, call me whatever, but that was the instant boost of confidence and just a treat for myself to just get over the disappointment of not being able to fly out to New York City this past weekend. Thank you again to all the plant foldies that did show concern. Big shout out to my friend Big Leaf Jim on Instagram for grabbing my plants that I bought from Art Garden Flowers. As always, plant foldies, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier. It definitely supports the channel, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds. My name is Richie. Definitely click on the videos that are popping up on the screen and know that I have several new videos scheduled for live premieres at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time this week. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at GrowFolds, and today will be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in West Plano, Texas. It is a cloudy day, and when I filmed this video, this was actually part of the videos that I filmed when I was canceled out of Plant Con 2025 New York City because American Airlines ended up canceling my flight 40 minutes before we were going to take off. So as always, plant foldies, make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as give me a follow on Instagram. My Instagram name is at GrowFolds, and if you have any questions or want to get in touch with me directly, that is the fastest and most direct way to do so. But you can see right here, I am trying to be productive. When I had filmed this video, I was really down in the fact that I was really looking forward to going to Plant Con 2025 in New York City. Sometimes things are just not meant to happen. And even though all of the flight was canceled, I went ahead and chose to make a productive day, and I was able to film several big box stores as I was out and about. I didn't really want to just mope at home. So there you go, plant foldies. Today is another one of the videos that I filmed this past weekend, where I decided to go ahead and take you alongside with me to go big box store plant shopping. You can see that fall season is around the corner. We see some croton plants, and we see all of these beautiful, colorful coleus plants. And I love coleus plants in the sense that they are fast growers. They're very easy to propagate, and you can make them a versatile plant. You can make them an outdoor patio plant, a garden landscape plant, or adaptable to be an indoor house plant. So many uses for coleus plants. For me, I think coleus plants are another plant that not a lot of people are talking about in terms of growing as a house plant. It may not be that tropical aesthetic that we want, but as you can see right here, we do have fall is for planting. It definitely is. So I am excited to start planting some of my Japanese maples, because fall time is actually the best time to place down trees. But we're going to go ahead and go straight into the main event, which is going into the indoor tropical section. We're going to see what plants they have available from Costa Farms, Live Trends Design, and Urban Jungle Plants. So you can see right here, they did get a shipment of plants. I don't know if I'm going to go dig into those boxes, but let me go ahead and just give you a pan around overview of the plants. Again, plant foldies, I really appreciate all the words of encouragement, the viewership, the comments, the like button being pressed, and all of the super stickers that you've given me in terms of a monetary tip. It definitely has uplifted my spirits, and I wanted to make sure that I tried to make a good example about what you do when things are not going the way that you plan. Do you just feel defeated? Or in my sense, I just wanted to go ahead and continue to move forward, allow myself to feel that disappointment, that sadness, but utilize that energy to something that I can control, and that is to be productive and move on. So let's go ahead, plant foldies, and take a look at some of these plants. You can see we've got a lot of these orchids, and I'm just going to pan around and walk around to show you what else they have available. Here's another example of a pretty full Lowe's location. This one again is in West Plano, Texas, so it's further up north from the downtown Dallas area. And you can see right here, $13.98 for these beautiful bromeliads. And like I said again, I love the look of bromeliads. I think they have some really stunning colors. I'm just curious to see if anybody's actually made bromeliads into like a living wall where you can actually mount them on a plank, if that's even possible. Plant foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I do ask if you know anything about bromeliads or if you've ever tried to actually mount them on a wooden plank. Let me know how that works out for you, because this one right here, if I were to choose one, this is probably the one I would choose, because look at how beautiful the striping is on the leaves. And then I love the fact that it even has like pink tips on the leaves. Really stunning plant, and it's another one that I would like to add in my plant collection, but whether I'm gonna actually add it would be something long term. I am really just trying to be happy with the plants I have. Now, for those that are waiting, I did wanna say shout out to at Big Leaf Gym on Instagram. He was actually at Plant Con. He was the one that was able to pack up all of my plants that I got from Art Garden Flowers and at leafcrafter.id that I was originally going to pick up, but obviously my plane got canceled, and so I couldn't make it to the New York City Plant Con. So shout out to Jim, my friend. He was able to grab the plants for me, and I was able to pick them up yesterday, and I was able to just go ahead and pot them up. I only had one plant casualty that went to Plant Heaven, but you know, when it comes to like getting plants from overseas, if you have a great seller, they're always willing to work with you. I'm already going to get a replacement for my next shipment. But yes, updates on that. And as you can see right here, we are still looking at these beautiful bromeliads. You know, my thoughts after, you know, Plant Con has come and go. I saw some of the media that was posted on there, and you know, for me, I think it's really just a disappointment of not being able to create Plant Con content for all of the plant foldies, because I know that many of you guys may not necessarily be able to attend something like that. And I always feel like if I make long format plant videos, that you would be able to at least experience it vicariously through my camera lens. So for me, it wasn't meant to be, but I'm really happy that my friends were able to go there. I'm really happy that I was able to get my plants that I wanted from Plant Con, and there's always Plant Con Dallas. So 100% confirmed that I will be going to Dallas Plant Con for at least that Saturday. Sunday remains to be seen, but I will be there for sure on Saturday. October 18th? I'm not 100% sure. I have to double check that, but we'll see what that all looks like. In terms of just everything else Plant Con related, we'll see if there's more content. Let me know in the content or the comment section if you find any more Plant Con videos that I definitely need to watch. I am just so excited to see the plants that I received, and know that I'm going to have a Plant Con New York City 2025 haul on my YouTube video. So if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing that subscribe button with all the notification bell on. And for those that tuned in to my last big box or plant shopping video, thank you for pressing the thumbs up or like button for the video. It is almost at 2,000 views. And like I said, again, watching the videos all the way through, so watch time is super important, as well as pressing the thumbs up video definitely helps recommend it to more people that love plants. And we're so close to 13,000 Plant Foldy subscribers. I'm hoping to get to 13,000 Plant Foldy subscribers by the end of this month, which is September. Help me out by just sharing my videos, pressing the thumbs up like button for the video, as well as watching my videos all the way through. Now, as far as Costa Farms plants, you'll notice that there are so many trays of Costa Farms plant. This one is the dark mystery Polea. I love the metallic look of this particular plant. It is better suited to be more of a a terrarium plant. So For me, Palea plants in general are just not going to be in my space because I am just not really good about watering my plants. I've been able to work alongside and get my plants taken care of because I have them growing outdoors. I know that some people may not agree with me when I say that growing plants outdoors is the best way to go. I truly believe it is because you're able to water them consistently with a hose. You're able to water away the plant pests because a hose will pretty much wash off a lot of spider mites and other things. And in terms of the soil substrates that are used, most likely, especially if you live in North Dallas where the weather is still pretty hot, the soil will dry out pretty fast. It's not going to stay too mushy for too long. I remember when we were getting 90+ degree weather in North Dallas, I would have to water my plants twice a day, once in the morning and then later in the afternoon, early evening. And I had that routine going, and I could see that there's a lot of plants that actually got a lot of growth. So really excited about that. But again, plant foldies, let me just go ahead and continue to pick up some plants. Feel free to leave in the comments section what you think. I mean, you can see we've got a beautiful blooming anthurium right over here by Costa Farms for $13.98. And I guess another disappointment or regret of not being able to go to Plant Con is I wasn't able to meet Justin Hancock, the horticulturist of Costa Farms. He is the man behind some of these plant discoveries that they put through for Costa Farms. I was really wanting to have a conversation just about Costa Farms plants because obviously I feature Costa Farms plants consistently, almost on a daily basis. And I just wanted to give them some of my insights and feedback and see if they would take that back to their nursery. You already know I was going to talk about aglaonemas and the need to just get even more colorful varieties because I truly believe that aglaonema could become the trending plant. It's kind of under, like not under somebody's radar, but again, when you talk about plants consistently on social media, when you post about plants consistently on social media, when you see videos about a certain plant on social media, I think people start to get excited. I think people start to find the interest. It's kind of like supply and demand. If there is a demand, you're going to get the supply. So, let's try to hashtag popularize aglaonema. Now over here is $18.98. So we're looking at some of these Costa Farms bonsai. So this one right here has a pretty good structure. For those that don't know what bonsai is, again, it is the art of growing a tree, a miniature tree in a shallow container. It's one of those where you want to make sure that you train it, you trim it, you do all the things that you need to do in order for it to do well in its container. Is a Live Trends design plant. I like that it's got a sansevieria, or what you call a snake plant, in one of these Statue of David heads. Really interesting, pretty quirky planter. And with Live Trends design, whether it is very modern contemporary aesthetics or just quirky like this, I find that really intriguing, and it just makes plant styling, collecting plants elevated on a different level for sure. And you can see over here again, plant foldies, many different types of plants. I would even say that it looks like another jungle paradise with just all of the plants hanging, trailing. You got different types of planters. And I do ask the plant foldies, for those that have started off the week, how did you spend your Labor Day on Monday? Did you go plant shopping? Did you go to a big box store? Did you relax? Let me know in the comment section below. I know that I ended up having to work, but I was able to pot up some of my plants from Plant Con before I got into work. So for me, I know that some of my import videos where I actually rehydrate the plants, a lot of the plants I have that are imports now, I just put straight into soil using Classy Rabbit soil, as well as mixing it with Fox Farm fertilizers to just let it hold a little bit more moisture. And I think that has worked out very well for me for any of the imported plants or plants that you need to acclimate or actually get it to recover from stress. I cannot stress to you enough on just growing them outdoors in a shaded patio. For some reason, taking your plants outdoors really gives them an extra boost in terms of their vigor and growth. Now, I've been looking at this plant right here. I do find the foliage beautiful. It's got a silver metallic shine. This is what you call a flame violet, and this particular one blooms some neon pink flowers, which I think are stunning. There are so many plants that Costa Farms releases to the general public. You know, they get it from the wild and then they put it in cultivation for the general consumer. And it's really interesting how a lot of these plants that we buy, for instance, just Dracaena right over here, came from an environment somewhere in this this planet, and it ends up in somebody's household space. And that's another thing I find intriguing, is the fact that plants really do bring a lot of people joy, and plants also create communities. I'm going to go on a tangent again as I pick up these plants and just say, for the plant foldies, you guys have really just made my journey into making plant content to be able to create this space so enjoyable. I love the fact that many people genuinely cared that, you know, my flight was canceled, and the disappointment I shared on social media. You know, sometimes they say you shouldn't always put out your emotions on social media, but I tend to be one person that I'm very transparent with my feelings. I try to allow myself to feel a certain way, and then also realize and recognize that it is okay to not always be okay. And you know, that Saturday or that Friday was just really disappointing. The fact that I ended up, you know, taking an Uber, spending $60 just to be told that my flight was canceled, and several other American Airlines flights were there. Again, this is not me bashing American Airlines, because I know that they serve a lot of people, but for me, I just felt like the service or the customer service to mitigate any faults on the airplane just did not really happen. I didn't feel like there was an urgency to rectify the situation. There weren't really a lot of alternatives. I actually had to do my own searching to get a refund versus the actual help counter offering a refund right then and there. I ended up spending about $100 on just taking Ubers from my place and then back home. And so this is a result of me having to not make it to Plant Con, and that's me just filming these big box or plant shopping videos. And you can see as I pick up around here, there's just so many beautiful plants. You know, Life Trends Design and Costa Farms, it just really depends on, number one, your budget, and then number two, your aesthetic. I mean, you can see this one is our first Hedera Helix, or the wonderful ivy. The correct way to say it is Hedera Helix. It is an English ivy, and it's one that I wouldn't necessarily recommend growing indoors. And y'all know the reason why, because it is one of those plants that tends to be more of a spider mite prone type plant. Now over here is an easy care plant, and this one is the Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. And if you guys hear some crowing, that's actually my barred rock hen Charlotte, who is is very curious. She's always wanting to jump on things. She likes to jump on my shoulders. So if you hear her crowing as I do my voiceover, it's because I'm outside. I like to take the morning sun. You know, vitamin D is good, and I like to be around my plants when I'm doing these voiceovers. So if you hear some of that background music or background sounds, it's literally my barred rock crowing Charlotte. Now over here, pothos plants. I saw a lot of different types of pothos plants. My friend Big Leaf Jim actually showed me a new cultivar that somebody had, and that was the beautiful Epipremnum aureum Pretty Boy. It was like a tricolor type plant, and it's one that I thought was really cool, and he ended up getting it. So we'll see if we're able to see if the variegation actually grows, and that's where you get a lot of the pothos plants varieties, is through variegation mutation. So let me just get off of my commentary for a second and just show you all of the plants that they have here. As you've noticed, there's just lots of different types of house plants, whether it's big foliage plants that you saw, hanging baskets, kokedama, and right over here, I'm picking up a ginseng ficus. These are more Costa Farms bonsai, and they make it affordable to get bonsai because on an average, bonsai can range up to a couple $100s to thousands of dollars. And these are just pre-bonsai, and I say pre-bonsai because they definitely need more shape and training for it to really be a full-blown bonsai. I would also say that they are not necessarily in a proper shallow bonsai container. And so if you guys didn't know, I'm actually really honored to be an official affiliate for the BonsaiSupply.com, the Bonsai Supply soil, which is one of the premium soils you can use for bonsai, as well as succulents and cactus, because they are fast draining and easy to work with. You don't really want to put a bonsai in an area where it doesn't have fast draining soil. And we're going to take a look at this. I'm excited to finally show you my unboxing of the bonsai supplies that I received a generous amount from the Bonsai Supply store. This is a company that is based out in Houston, Texas. I have been using the Bonsai Supply soil for many years now. I used to buy it off of Amazon, but you can actually buy this directly from the BonsaiSupply.com. And you can see right here, this is their all-purpose, fast-draining soil that you can utilize for your bonsai. And for those that don't know, the bonsai is the art of growing beautiful miniature trees, and it is one that takes so much dedication. It is definitely creating living works of art, and in order to make living works of art, you really have to have premium soil and supplies. And I am just super excited that the Bonsai Supply company sent me this package of all of the supplies that I have used for many years. So you can see right here, I am struggling to unbox this. This is the organic slow release all-purpose fertilizer that is also made and sourced out in the United States. So all of their supplies in terms of just the soils and their fertilizers are sourced out and created in the United States. You can see right here, it is a gentle organic fertilizer, and it is all purpose, so you can utilize it for a lot of your plants. Here's the thing about the Bonsai Supply soil. It is definitely a complete soil. It is one that you can utilize as well for your succulents and cactus. So if you don't necessarily grow bonsai, you can actually utilize their soils because it is fast draining. So it's really good for even your succulents, your cactus, and your sansevieria, any type of plant that just needs fast draining soil. You can see that the Bonsai Supply has also sent me different types of wire gauges, as well as their other fertilizer right over here. You can see that this one is the non-organic fertilizer. So you have different choices, and all of these products you can find on the BonsaiSupply.com or BonsaiSupply.com. I do have an affiliate link for that is going to be in all of my descriptions for my YouTube videos. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally show you all of the amazing products that I received from Bonsai Supply. You can see right over here, this one is the black lava rock. So you can utilize these types of soils to amend your soil. So say you need to make your all-purpose soil a little bit more fast draining, you can utilize a lot of these soil amendments for it. So you can see that I've got 3 different types of soils. I am going to be using the all-purpose mixture that they already have on the very left, and I am so thankful that they even sent me other supplies such as this potting mat. And just know, plant foldies, that I will utilize in another video a demonstration of using all of their supplies. So I just wanted to show you guys what types of supplies I got from Bonsai Supply. Super excited that I met the owners when I was actually at Plant Con Houston 2025, and I'm just so thankful and honored that they chose me to be one of their affiliates to actually promote and share their products. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some stainless steel scissors. And what I like about the Bonsai Supply supplies that I've received in the past couple of years, aside from just getting this really generous package, is the fact that these soils do work. You can utilize it for a lot of your plants. You don't really have to worry about root rot. It is just fast draining, and I love the fact that all of the ingredients that they use is sourced from the United States. This is made in the USA, and we definitely want to support American products. This is an American company, and I just love the fact that the owners and the company really trusted me to show you all of these soils. So if you are interested in utilizing Bonsai Supply soils, please utilize my promo code for 10% off any of the supplies on your orders. Just use the promo code GROWFOLDS. It's just one word when you check out, and you will receive 10% off your entire order for these supplies. These are high quality supplies. This is some of the best bonsai supplies you can utilize, and this is just great products to use for a lot of your plants in general. So I urge everybody to follow the Bonsai Supply on Instagram and shop today. For those that didn't click away after just me inserting my blurb about the Bonsai Supply soil, I really encourage anybody to at least try a bag. Again, there is an affiliate link in the video description of this particular video. Use that and my promo code GROWFOLD and try out that actual soil. It is really good stuff. I have been using it for several years for my bonsai, and I would love for y'all to go ahead and try it. You do get 10% off using my promo code GROWFOLD. So you can see right over here, plant foldies. Look at this beautiful bromeliad. And bromeliads are very, very common to find at a big box store, but just because a plant is common, it does not make the value of the plant any less. I always find that any plants that actually are readily available means that it is time and tested, easy to take care of, and should be in our spaces. I think that indoor plants in general, we want to find ones that are not as hard to keep alive. Like alocasia, for instance, this is a beautiful alocasia Milo, but the problem with alocasia is they're a little bit more of an intermediate or advanced level plant. And I say this because you have to stay on top of the watering. It is very much so spider mite prone. You also have to give it a lot of bright indirect light. Otherwise, it ends up wanting to go into dormancy. Same thing with Rex begonias. Like the angel wing cane begonias are a lot easier to manage. Rex begonias are a little bit more challenging. You definitely don't want to take a hose and water them. You want to make sure that you're bottom watering them, meaning you're filling up a bowl or a saucer with water and letting the drainage holes pick up the water and have it absorbed from the bottom. So that's just a couple of care tips for that particular plant. But as you can see right here, look at how full this Lowe's location is. And I'm always a fan of the Lowe's locations that have a separate, like almost greenhouse area for their indoor tropical plants. So we're going to go ahead and take another gander and look at these plants. If you want instant gratification plants, you can see that we have large ones right here, and I'm going to spin around and show you this Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue pothos. It is trailing, it is hanging. I'm actually in the mood to chop up my pothos Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue and actually get more plants out of it. It is another one of those plants that are very, very easy to root and water, and it is also a pretty vigorous grower. Of this philodendron neon or this philodendron lemon lime. Now this one has beautiful neon foliage, green foliage. For these plants though, you have to make sure you are providing it with lots of bright indirect light. Can't stress to you guys enough, otherwise it's going to revert back to more of a greener color, which is not bad, but if you're looking to maintain the neon, that's what you definitely need to do. And then over here is a beautiful Pachira aquatica Live Trends design plant. And actually for Live Trends design, I just find that this one has more texture and patterns to its planter than I typically would see. Pachira aquatica, or the money tree plant, is a commonly found plant, but in Asian cultures, it is considered to be one of those plants that brings prosperity and good luck. And then look at all of these Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. I'm really going to go on a kick and try to propagate so many Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue. My grandmother has so many cuttings of these that she propagates. And, for those that are still interested in my grandmother's plants, I definitely am going to go ahead and get that on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram, you can check my Instagram stories, and I'm just going to go ahead and put an auction, a starting bid for it, and we'll see how much people offer for some of her plants. Again, I think the shipping is going to be about $8, and then an additional $1 or $2 per plant if you want to claim for that. She has just mostly those black magic begonias, so we'll see. But we're going to also pick up a lot of these plants here. So if you saw that I picked up one Ficus elastica, that is the ruby. We have a Ficus lyrata over here, and these are all the self-watering Live Trends design planters. These are for $14.98. Love the matte finish, love the texture. It definitely looks modern. It's definitely one that you could put in your indoor spaces to really liven up and add some greenery to your plants. Now, I did end up getting a Ficus lyrata on sale at Home Depot for $10. It was in an 8-inch planter. So in terms of saving money on plants, again, it is all about going to different places to find your plants. Sometimes you'll find cost-effective plant pricing at a local nursery or a small business. Sometimes you'll find it at a big box store. Sometimes you'll find the plants even lower at another big box store. It's all about comparing and contrasting your pricing. And then another thing that I would also recommend in terms of being able to manage your finances when it comes to plants is literally looking to see if the plant is a need. And what I mean is something that you cannot live without, or one that you can wait. If it is a want, a plant that you can just wait until, say, the plant pricing goes down, or you find a cheaper alternative. That's another way I would say you could save money on plants, because as you see, I am picking up gorgeous plants like this golden pothos, for instance. Live Trends Design Planter, $16.98. I'm always tempted to buy pothos plants, but I already have pothos plants. I think the process of being able to multiply the plant through plant propagation is what attracts me to pothos plants. So that's something that I definitely want to revisit with a lot of people, is what attracts you to certain plants whenever you are going plant shopping. Feel free to leave that in the comments. And you already know, Plant Foldies, a lot of my big box store plant shopping videos is a little bit different than maybe some of the other content creators, in a sense that I like to have an open dialogue in terms of how I present the plants, but also want to garner feedback and comments in the comment section. Consider it almost like an old school message boards where we can just post stuff and people can respond. So let me know what plants really attract you whenever you go big box or plant shopping. Like, for instance, this dark foliage plants like this philodendron black cardinal is what attracts me to pick up a plant and buy it. This one is an urban jungle plant for $19.98, and I am loving every bit of it. Feel free to leave in the comment section again what you think of this particular plant. This one is absolutely stunning. And then we have a beautiful fern right here. I like the texture of the fern, but we'll see what that all looks like in terms of whether I end up getting a fern or not. I'm not really a big fan of ferns because of the care. Sometimes ferns are just a little bit too thirsty of a plant for me, and I need something that's going to be easier to manage. But let's go ahead and just continue to walk around here. As you can see, Plant Foldies, I did really try to be productive. So I hope that despite the fact that I wasn't able to go to Plant Con 2025 in New York City this year, this is a result of redirecting my energies to something productive, and that is making big box or plant shopping videos for you and I to enjoy. I mean, you can see here more Costa Farms plants, and these are very easy plants. This whole section right here, we've got a lot of Aglaonema Silver Bay. If you don't have an Aglaonema Silver Bay, please buy one. Buy one today. Go ahead and buy a Costa Farms Aglaonema Silver Bay. Let's go ahead and go shopping. Go ahead and buy one online. If you can't go to a big box store and get an Aglaonema Silver Bay, it is one of my favorite plants because it is durable. It is easy. This plant is budget friendly. This plant is low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and needs to be more popular with the general audience. And it's not even really about the popularity. I'm looking to promote Aglaonemas. It's just that I feel so passionate about the fact that these plants are so easy to take care of, yet they have beautiful foliage. So if you're looking for something that you can put in a space that has darker lighting, you need to go ahead and get an Aglaonema Silver Bay. This one is for $15.97 in a ceramic planter, and then right next to it is a Dracaena. That one is a Lemon Surprise, and I'm just gonna pan around here and show you some more of these beautiful plants. Take a look at this. This is the Flame Violet bloom. Really love the look of the Flame Violet. Absolutely stunning plant, and it's another one that I just would love to admire, at least at a big box store. I don't think I can necessarily take it back home and actually add it into my plant collection. You'll see that sometimes it's just better to admire the plant at the big box store or local nursery or even your friend's house. Not all plants are really meant to grow in our spaces, and I say this because there are often times when we all will go to a big box store, we want to spend all our money, want to go shopping, pretty much buy every single plant that we're looking at here, for instance, but it is not a sustainable way to grow a houseplant collection, because every single plant that we're looking at is going to require some type of watering regimen, some type of care. So I just want to put it out there for the plant foldies. As much as we do these big box or plant shopping videos, I am trying to at least plant influence everybody into having a more curated plant collection. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, and I'm just going to go ahead and again continue to show you the massive selection of houseplants at this Lowe's location. So in terms of just growing plants and just enjoying them for what they are, big box or plant shopping, at least for me, it's one way for me to actually unwind and relax, pick up some of these plants, and even just the process of creating these videos for y'all, having that direct contact where I can actually talk to y'all directly and show you my plants that I find at these big box stores. It's actually been super helpful to get over the disappointment of not being able to go to Plant Con 2025 in New York City. There's going to be other plant shows, and I'm hoping that for those future plant shows that I'm able to attend and I'm able to pick up plants, film the plants, but more so highlight all of the wonderful people behind the shops and vendors. I really think that they are truly the superstars, and even Costa Farms and all of these nurseries that continue to make these plants accessible. Kudos to them for just having these plants available for us to grow in our spaces and be able to get it at a cost-effective price. Some people are truly on a plant budget. I'm not always the best at plant budgeting, but it just goes to show that all of us are in this together in terms of how we grow our plant collection, how our plants grow, and how we're able to share our own stories and just revelations with the plants we're growing. I mean, you can see right here, beautiful Costa Farms plant. This one is another Trending Tropicals plant. This one is a Epipremnum aureum global green pothos, $19.98. They were on sale originally for $14.98 at Lowe's. And sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes you walk in a big box store and bam, you find one that just has some plants that are on sale. And then you can see right here, this is at Hydra Helix. and that Hydra helix transformed into a beautiful ficus lyrata. But as you can see here, these monstera leaves are to die for. I love the fenestrations, and let's all talk about the fact that Monstera deliciosa used to be that plant, the it plant that everybody wanted. I remember when they were quite pricey, and now they are affordable. So again, plant foldies, if you are liking this kind of content, if you are enjoying walking around and listening to me talk about plants, listen to me just talk in general, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you haven't subscribed, I would definitely encourage you to press the subscribe button with all the notifications on. And a prime example would be, I sometimes go on Instagram live, but more so YouTube live streaming. And if you don't have the notification, it doesn't always tell you when I'm going live. I've been showing more and more of my plants. I'm definitely preparing for a house plant tour. Definitely see that. I know we've been talking about it, and hopefully I can get one for y'all. Let's just say it is going to be happening maybe in the next 24 hours. So make sure, plant foldies, that you guys have the subscribe button and also all notifications turned on. So I want to just make sure that I put that plug. Now over here, you can see this is a Costa Farms Alocasia Silver Dragon in one of their new modern planters. This one's actually a self-watering planter, and that one is for $24.98. It's a slightly more expensive, but you know, you can say that it is definitely worth it considering that it has a very beautiful planter. And that's a thing, the name of the game sometimes is the planters that you place these plants in. It can really set the tone and mood of the particular aesthetic of the plant. So let's go ahead and continue to pick up some more of these plants. For my Hoya heads, my Hoya lovers, this is a Hoya Curtsii for $16.98. So let's just keep looking and admiring these beautiful plants. I would even say the fact that, you know, my airplane was canceled to go into New York City for Plant Con 2025 New York City. In hindsight, and as I edit these videos, I was able to produce quite a bit of videos. I was able to actually film a bunch, and I felt like that was a really good proactive way from moving from disappointment and utilizing that energy to make something productive. You know, sometimes we want to wallow in our own sorrow, but it doesn't really do anything for anybody. If anything, you're just wasting time. And so I had two choices. I could be upset and allow myself to be upset, allow myself to feel the way I feel. But then the second decision is I can do that, but also find ways to redirect my mindset, reframe the situation, and tell myself, you know what, if I'm not going to be able to make plant content for Plant Con 2025 in New York City, I can at least create plant content that features some of the big box stores locally. And you know, in the end, I didn't have to do a lot of traveling, which made it a lot easier. I'm able to actually somewhat relax because these videos, content creation is really a side job. Some people make this a full-time job, but it does take a lot to create content and to be able to find that energy and inspiration. I mean, but how do you not find energy and inspiration when you're picking up beautiful calatheas like that? For $14.98, you're seeing beautiful trending tropicals plants like this one. This is an Alocasia reginae by Costa Farms for $19.98. So let's continue to explore this beautiful Lowe's and all of the beautiful house plants that we could add into our plant collections. Decisions. Should we rescue this Aglaonema red Siam? $15.98. This one is another beautiful plant for 50% off. So 50% off, $15.98. Look at how beautiful that leaf is. I am really trying to grow a very lush and full Aglaonema red Siam. This is one of my favorite plants to grow, and while some people will really just say that this is a common plant, it is one that is very close to my heart. And you can even see right here, urban jungle plants, $14.98 in a beautiful terracotta planter that has that white glaze. It's also got about 3 or 4 plants. This is an Aglaonema red Siam. I will say this in all my videos, and if it comes off as being repetitive, cringy, whatever you want to call it, just know that I'm just really passionate about getting this particular plant trending and popular. Every person that comes across my video, can you at least give this Aglaonema red Siam a chance? Put it in your actual plant collection, and then you can see over here lots and lots of beautiful calatheas right over here. I love the look of this particular purple calathea. Again, it is for $15.98. That can get really large size leaves. I really need to meet up with Drea. She has a YouTube channel called Aloha Plants. She is also a local DFW YouTube content creator for plant, and she is able to grow some amazing calatheas. So I haven't really figured out the care tips for it, or maybe it's just not meant for me to grow. But what is meant for me is to utilize all of these beautiful plants like these Aglaonemas, this Aglaonema Silver Bay, and I actually want to do a separate video where I just talk about Aglaonemas. I know I do a lot of big box or plant shopping videos, and full transparency, a lot of it has to do with the fact that you get more mileage out of the viewership when there is a big box. Or for some reason, big box or plant shopping videos tend to get a lot more traction on YouTube, at least. And you know, I love being able to feature that. I am aware that I want to get some more different types of content, so I'm diversifying it, and that's the reason why I am trying to post a couple of my more personalized lifestyle blogs. I have this idea and inspiration that eventually I would like to go the route of like Benji Plants, where once I get my own houseplant tour up and about, I can also delve into just how do you style your plants, because interior design is something that I really like as well. I like looking at lines, spaces, negative space, colors, texture, all of that, and plants is just a portion of that interior design. So feel free to leave in the comment section if you feel like that would be a really good pivot to my YouTube channel, or would you rather just me stick to big box store plant shopping videos. I would really appreciate any of the constructive critique if you would like to add that, just because I am curious to see what other type of content would you like to see. I am going to throw that out there again though, plant foldies. If you want more personalized content about me, myself, my life, my backyard chicken, Charlotte and Catriona, my family, and anything else that's related that's non-plant content, definitely consider joining my YouTube membership tier. And the reason why I say this is for only $2.99, you will have access to membership only exclusive videos, and you will have early access to any potential videos I will eventually share with the Plant Foldy community. So that's something that has made it very sustainable for me to create content, is just a YouTube membership tier. It's literally just the price of a cup of coffee. It is one way to really support any of your content creators you like. I know that I am a member of certain tiers for some of these YouTube content creators, and I would love to have a goal of getting like 150 members for YouTube memberships by the end of November. That would be a huge win for us. And I did want to shout out David, who continues to gift YouTube membership tiers, as well as Eric. He most recently gave 5 random Plant Foldies YouTube membership tiers. So I appreciate that. I also appreciate that Costa Farms, if you are listening and watching, get yourself some more Aglaonemas. Aside from that, go ahead and try to source out the Aglaonema white Siam, just more Aglaonema. If you got to source them from Indonesia, whatever we got to do, we need more Aglaonemas. I do love the fact that there are still easy care plants that are readily available, like this Epipremnum aureum golden pothos, $15.98. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I should really just continue to chop up my pothos plants because I am addicted to plant propagation. So as you can see right here, plant foldies, lots and lots of beautiful plants. Today's episode is really just a culmination of me choosing to reframe disappointment of missing my flight because the airlines canceled it again. 40 minutes. Can y'all believe 40 minutes before takeoff, we get notifications that the flight is canceled? And to me, that is just, I don't know. And I guess I'm kind of ruminating and just having that loop in my head here and there. And this is the reason why I have to find a way to kind of move past it. But I feel like I've handled it fairly well. I don't know, plant foldies, let me know in the comment section what you think. I always think about the coulda, woulda, shoulda. But if you always think about the coulda, woulda, shouldas, you're never really going to get the answer you want because it's always going to be coulda, woulda, shoulda. And for those that are really looking for that plant content, I do apologize if I've been a little bit chatty. Again, I utilize a lot of my plant shopping videos as just being able to have almost like a live journal or some place where I can really unload some of my thoughts and emotions. It may not always be the best thing, but at least you get the most authentic version of me. And you can see over here, plant foldies, we've got a lot more Live Trends design planters. You know, these self-watering planters are amazing. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're really necessary for, say, Sansevieria, because these snake plants are super easy to care for, very drought tolerant, but I would even say don't let it stay dry for too long, because even if a plant is drought tolerant, you can do what they call dry rot, where the roots dry out super just way too much and it ends up just dying. So it's not viable roots to actually give the plants the nutrients it needs. So we're just going to keep walking around here and picking up some plants. Let me know in the comment section what your favorites are and if you have gone plant shopping. Looks like we've got a lot of Lowe's deals. Again, trending tropical plants are $19.98 on sale for $14.98. We've got a beautiful hanging basket of just a philodendron heteroraceum. Beautiful, very easy care plant, a beginner plant, one that even if it's for beginners, you can add into your plant collection because it's one of the plants that are not going to give you stresses. And then we have right over here the philodendron pink princess marble galaxies. Those are only for $15.98. And you know, with philodendrons, especially the philodendron pink princess, this one is really influenced by the initial genetics of the plant. So some people will say more light gives you better variegation. It's for some plants. It's not always for every single plant. I would say philodendron pink princess is one of them where you really just need to find one that has high variegation. And really, whenever you're looking for plants and you're looking for variegation grades, the higher the variegation of the plant, the better off you're going to be if that is what you're seeking. You know, some people will say that they can push out the variegation, and there is chances, but variegation in general, unless it is like a tissue cultured plant like Monsieur Thai constellation, where it's never really going to revert back to green, it's not always going to be the stable route in terms of just variegation. And then over here is that silver inducan. I love this plant, but I've noticed that this plant is a little bit finicky. Even with me growing this outdoors in a shaded area and it's watered consistently, it still has some browning and crisping on some of the edges of the leaves. So I'm not 100% sure what the situation is for this one. It's still such a beautiful plant. It almost reminds me of a very silver looking aglaonema, but it is not an aglaonema. Either way, kudos to Costa Farms for this new release. This is one of their newer Costa Farms releases. And so we're just going to continue to walk around here. And if you listen to the track that was playing just now, that one is called Twilight. And I wanted to shout out my friend Jordan again for taking the time to create some custom tracks specifically for the Grow Folge YouTube channel. I really appreciate it because I want to have my own brand recognition. So there are a lot of things in the works in terms of just the YouTube channel in general. And, you know, for you guys, the fact that we are continuing to get more and more subscribers, feel free and do not hesitate to reach out to me if you ever want to meet up if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I love meeting people, obviously in public spaces, at a nursery, because we want to keep it safe. You never know with the internet, so just be super cautious about that as well, whether it's, you know, meeting up with somebody from online. I always tell people, be cautious in terms of if you're going to meet up with people, you definitely need to know, some of your friends need to know your exact location. I share my location with Luke and my family, and I always meet up in public settings because, you know, a lot of people ask me questions about, you know, as a YouTube content creator, when people reach out to you for X, Y, and Z, what do you do? I always say err of caution when it comes to deal with people, because not everybody is going to have the most positive intentions online. Unfortunately, there are people that are scammers. I recently saw some people kind of posing as another content creator, and it was just a whole mess. And, you know, that's the reason why I would even tell Plant Foldies that, guys, I would remain faceless for those reasons as well, is to kind of create an extra barrier of security for myself. But let me get off all of the chitter chatting. I know that some of you guys are really just here for the plants, so let me talk about the plants. This one right here is a beautiful Hoya carnosa. It almost looks like a Hoya Chelsea, except the leaves would be definitely rounder. That is an example of a beautiful Hoya, is a Hoya Chelsea. Curious to see if Costa Farms is going to actually release more Hoyas. I know that there is a huge fandom when it comes to Hoyas, so I'm just surprised that we're not seeing more and more Hoyas make it out to the big box stores. I will recognize Proven Winners Leaf Joy. They have really made an effort to produce and get a lot of Hoyas readily available for the general public. But as you can see right here, Plant Foldies, I'm just going to be picking up more and more of these hanging basket plants. That's one thing that Costa Farms is amazing at, is being able to provide so many different types of hanging baskets. I mean, even the Syngonium right here, $16.98. I am a huge fan of this Syngonium Cream Illusion. Look at that pastel color, that pink veining, and then just the round, robust leaves. Absolutely stunning. And you know, with Syngoniums, they're super, super easy to propagate. Let me know if you are a Syngonium lover as well. And we're just going to continue to go look at some of these plants. as I pick up a lot of these trending tropical plants by Costa Farms that are on sale. I hope you guys are enjoying this particular track that is playing right now. It is called Nutrients. So this is part of the Grow Folds soundtrack. I really do like the sound that my friend Jordan created for a lot of my big box or plant shopping videos. It definitely sets a different relaxing mood, and I just feel like, you know, big box or plant shopping is definitely relaxing, and taking you guys alongside with me is even more fun. Now this one right here, I could always buy another Aglaonema. This is electric lime, beautiful silver metallic foliage, such a stunner of a plant. I would love to see a variegated mutation of this, and that's the thing about Aglaonemas. They are constantly evolving, changing, mutating, getting hybridized, and I'm really happy. Again, huge shout out to my friend Jim for picking up all of my plants from Plant Con. I know you guys are excited to see my Plant Con haul. I will be working on getting a video of that soon. And then also a big shout out to my friend Harry of Indo Miami Plants. Please go to Indo Miami Plants, search that on YouTube. Please subscribe, because he will be showing you a lot of these rare Aglaonemas, rare plants from Indonesia. And if you are interested in getting plants delivered to your doorstep, and when I say delivered to your doorstep, you can literally buy plants from artgarden.flowers on Instagram. They will send it to your house directly, and you won't necessarily need to get an import license as well. So for my Aglaonema lovers, or just anybody that's wanting to source out some more uncommon plants for a pretty good price, consider getting plants from overseas through artgarden.flowers, and just message my friend Harry at Indo Miami Plants on Instagram. He is fluent in English, and he's creating some amazing content. And as I wrap up this video today, you can just see that the consistency that Costa Farms Plants has in terms of just having them readily available, you never will be sad to go big box or plant shopping, especially when you can walk into Lowe's like this that are super stocked with many healthy looking plants, where you can find plants of different types of varieties, ones that's going to fit your own aesthetic, and one that is not really priced at a very crazy price. And, you know, with plants being a huge deal for a lot of people collecting plants, we also have to not feel the pressure to have to acquire so many plants or feel the need to follow what is on trend. I am definitely that one person that is all about trying to be budget friendly with my plants. And you'll see as I continue to make these videos that while I do pick up the same Costa Farms exotic angel plants, I am just curious to see who is actually buying these plants. Because I mean, I would definitely buy this Palea Pan Am, for instance. Love the dark foliage plant. That one is for $5.98. But in the end, sometimes certain plants just don't make it into your plant collections because you may not have the time to take care of them. Like this one right here, $14.98. I would totally buy this Alocasia poly, but knowing how I was on this bandwagon of like buying a bunch of Alocasias, I figured that I could grow them in Lechuza Pond. But at the end of the day, some of my Alocasia, for instance, ended up going to plant heaven even when they were growing in semi-hydroponic substrates, which goes to the fact that no matter what, there is a lot of time that you have to invest in taking care of the plants. It's not just an easy fix. And oftentimes, at least from talking to other plant lovers, that plants we don't realize the amount of workload that's added whenever we just add an additional plant into our plant collection. So, you know, my message for today is obviously whenever you find something that did not work out as planned, whenever you're dealing with disappointment, allow yourself to feel the way you feel, but do not mope in that feeling. Find ways to reframe the situation to where you can be productive, you can move on past it, and you can create another set of goals that you can look forward to. And that's what I did today. That is what I did on the day that I was canceled out of Plant Con 2025 New York City. I just couldn't believe that the airlines canceled my flight 40 minutes before takeoff. And Yeah, it's a tough, it's a tough pillow or a pill to swallow, and it's one that is still they're very much so disappointing for me because I was just really looking forward to seeing all the wonderful plant vendors and my friends out there. But this is a different route that I went into, and that is just featuring these beautiful plants again. Epipremnum pinnatum, Cebu blue pothos. I love the long trailing vines of this one, and you can chop this up and get so many free plants that you can either sell to others or better yet bring joy and share with others. And plant propagation, I think, is the key. I really wish a lot of the plant foldies were a little bit closer. I would definitely create like a plant swap. So anyways, plant foldies, as you can see right here, this is a pretty big area of houseplants at this Lowe's location. One of my favorite ones, again, this one is in West Plano, Texas. It is one of the best locations to go to, and they are consistently swapping out different plants. Fall is around the corner, so we'll see what plants come in and actually show up at these big box stores. Again, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier by clicking the join button. It's only for the price of a cup of coffee, $2.99. And as always, my name is Richie at Growfolds. I enjoyed today's video taking alongside with me. Please subscribe with all the notification bell on, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.